Hi, everyone. Wanted to touch base today. This is day one of the surgery. Surgery took place this morning. Again, total knee replacement on the left side and started real early. Had to be there at 6 o'clock. Got checked in. Everything was fine. The prep team, the two nurses that worked to get me set up to go into the OR were awesome. They explained what they were doing, answered any questions I might have had, and really did a good job of calming and de-escalating everything that might have been going through my head. I wouldn't characterize myself as being overly apprehensive or nervous, but there's a little nerves that go on when you're talking about, okay, we're gonna knock you out with anesthetics and do some work on your knee, that type of thing. So they did a good job, and I really appreciated their efforts. Got to the OR. Oh, my little gurney that I was on in the prep room had a nice little heater and everything. So we're all cozied up and ready to go. And then I go into the operating room, which is cold. And they said, okay, we need you to scoot over onto that operating table, which was not cozy and warm. So that was a bit of a shock to the system, but was able to make it through that without much trouble. But it's just kind of a humorous situation. Uh, Anesthesiologist came in and started working on me, and about seven, I think a clock right in front of me said 7:13. No, that's not correct. 7:23 in the morning. He says good night, and it was like I was gone. The next thing I remembered, it was wake up time in the recovery room, and had the nurse there kind of talking to me a little bit, seeing if I was awake, that type of thing. So that was a bit of an interesting time, trying to get reoriented, trying to figure out, what I was feeling. My leg was uncomfortable. It wasn't really hurting, but it was uncomfortable. And the sensation that I've basically had all day is like when you're on an airplane and you're in the middle seat and your carry-on item is maybe just a little too big for that underseat carriage stowage place where you put those items, and you just can't move your leg, and then after about an hour flight, 2 hour flight, you kind of just sort of lose sensation in your leg almost, where you're just not moving. And so that was basically how I felt this morning when I woke up, and kind of even right now. um was in the recovery room for a while. Robin and Casey came in. They were able to sit there with me as we kind of started to regain uh you know movement and circulation of the blood and all that kind of stuff, and really start clearing my head. It's not still completely done. I mean, I'm still a little bit shaky, if you will. They used a nerve block on my leg, and that is still active at this point, which is why I still feel okay. Now, when that wears off sometime tomorrow on day two, um, that's when I think my pain meter is going to go up. All right. I don't know how high, I don't know how much I feel it, because that's different for everybody. So maybe just a tad bit of apprehension about that. And that may not be the right word. It may be just uh, uncertainty, because I don't know how it's going to be. Pain is always relative to individuals. And I think I shared with you before, I've got sort of a high pain tolerance. So, who knows what I'm going to feel like when all that starts rolling. My doctor called me this evening, or actually texted me and said for me to call him when I was ready. So we called him and talked to him, and he just stressed, hey, you got to stay horizontal. You want to keep that leg up. You want to make sure that that you do everything you can do to minimize the swelling. I've got a cold pack system that basically keeps my knee cold, rather than having ice packs on it all the time. This circulates ice cold water through the pad that's wrapped around my knee. And so basically, it's just always cold. Every once in a while, we've got to go in and open it up, and instead of putting ice into the reservoir, which would mean we've got to drain it every now and then to get the water, keep the water level appropriate, we've been using frozen water bottles. And so we stick those in there, and then when those melt away, melt off, I should say, we pull those bottles out, put the new ones in. And that way we don't have to mess with the water uh, changing levels and all that kind of thing. So I've had a little bit to eat today, a little bit of nausea, actually kind of feeling that a little bit right now. Um, might have something to do with the fact that I'm literally sitting up, that sort of thing. So, but otherwise, I've felt really pretty good all day. Been able to move. They encourage you to do that. So I've been moving, just moving my arms, moving my legs, shifting position, changing how I sit, and that sort of thing, just to make sure that things keep active. The foot on my left side, I'm able to wiggle my toes. I'm able to twist the ankle pretty well right now, almost through full range of motion. When I first woke up, all I could do was maybe kick it a little bit to the outside and wiggle my toes. That was all I could do. So that was a little frustrating, and you've kind of got this little tingly feeling in there that it's not fully asleep, but it's getting close to that. So um, that's kind of been the state of that all day. I've got a knee brace on that's technically, I guess the term's immobilizer. It doesn't allow my knee to move. I have an appointment with the PT person coming tomorrow, sometime around noon, I think. That person's going to help me take off the immobilizer, take a look at the dressing on the wound where the incision was made, kind of do some introductory PT exercises. So that's going to be interesting, I'm sure. Sounded real nice over the phone, so looking forward to meeting her and getting that part, the recovery part, going. All right. While I was waiting in the, trying in that recovery room, it felt interesting, is all I could say. It because I just wasn't necessarily fully coherent. I knew what was happening, but I was kind of lightheaded. Nurse came in at one point and said, "Okay, you need to keep breathing." Evidently, I have a tendency just to hold my breath for whatever reason. I don't know. It's something I've done for a long time, I guess. And so she said, "You just need to keep breathing, keep that O2 number up as high as you can get it, because that'll help you clear out the anesthesia." Okay, so I had to work on that. Also, got up to go to the restroom because that's the key to being able to be discharged, is that you're able to pee. And so we were able to get that done. Had to walk on the walker, so I got my training on how to use that walker appropriately, and all went pretty well with that. So finally got to be discharged. It was about 12:15 when we actually left the facility. Drove back home. The ride was not uncomfortable. It was a bit interesting getting into the car because you can't bend your leg, So we had a front seat all the way reclined, scooching up and back. It's a little bit of a Cirque du Soleil event, getting into the car and then subsequently getting out. That resulted in a pretty good thing. So, not too big of an issue there. We were dodging rain. If you live in the area here, it rained today. And man, literally, when we got up to the house, the rain kind of died off, gave us a few minutes to get in. And literally, when I'm just now seated in my bed after getting into the house, it just poured again. So, we were blessed with some non-rainy weather. I didn't get as wet as I might could have been had I had to leave it another little window. So thankful for that. So anyway, a good day. Feel good. The doctor was pleased with the results, and the tough time's coming though, because like I said, when that nerve block winds down and expires, it's I'm not sure how I'm going to feel. I've got plenty of pain pills, varying levels of effectiveness, and we'll take those as needed. and be on with the rest of the journey. So, thanks for watching. As I said, if you've got questions, go ahead and put it down. There's a lot, obviously, I'm not sharing about methodology, the type of knee I've got, that sort of thing. And if you're interested in that, I'll certainly address it. But, um, if you've got questions or anything like that, please don't hesitate to leave those in the question or comment area, and I'll be happy to figure out those if I can. Otherwise, I appreciate all the support I've gotten. Lots of nice comments and encouragement, personal experiences that some of you have shared, and those have been very appreciated. I just want you to know that I felt very much not alone today, and I had a couple of my nursing staff here at the house is awesome. Robin and Casey have done a great job, and um, wouldn't wouldn't have expected anything less because that's just how we roll around here at the Harrington House. So, thanks for watching, and we'll check with you maybe tomorrow if we're able to do that. So, take care. Bye bye.